What's good, YouTube? Dave Cuss here, back with another video, and today we got my man in the chair looking crazy. Today is his wedding day, so we're gonna get him that wedding cut, that fresh wedding cut. So here we go. We're gonna start with some block graduation on the side. He's getting a side part with his hair, kind of like a side part, pompadour a little bit. So what we're gonna do is block graduation on this side because it's already gonna be disconnected right there. So we're gonna set the length there so we have what we're gonna blend into with the clippers on the side and work our way around the head. You see now I'm moving my way towards the back, dropping it in the back just to maintain the weight around the crown because I don't want his hair to be all spiked up in the back for his wedding. He would probably be pissed. His bride would probably be upset too. So we're gonna maintain that weight in the crown. And you see we got a nice like perimeter so far going around his head. So if you know, again, if you start, if you do your work clean, you'll have a clean result. If you do each step clean, you have a clean result. So here we're taking another parting on the other side from the recession to the back, to the crown of his head. And we're gonna continue that block graduation. This is the side that it's gonna blend into. So you're gonna see we're doing block graduation around the side, and now technically the top is disconnected, so we need to connect the top to the block graduation only on this side though, not on the other. And again, we're dropping it in the back, protecting that weight that's around the crown right there. And here we go, we're taking vertical partings, starting in the middle, all the way to the front of his head. We're trying to create the shape that the hair is gonna be from the side. So we want it to be longer in the front, so you'll see that we leave a pretty good amount of length. We're going for like a kind of triangular shape almost. A little bit of a slope, not too triangular. See that? See how that front is long enough to where now it'll sit on top of the rest of the hair behind it? And we're gonna follow the guideline the same way, pulling it all the way back, connecting it to the back. So remember, after we did the block graduation on the side, the top was disconnected. Now we're connecting the top to the back and creating the shape that we're making on top. See, I'm just bringing that last bit of hair over to the previous section and cutting it. Now here's the other side. Same thing. Taking that hair and directing it to the back, over-directing it to the back so that way we can connect it. And I just switch positions there so it would be a little bit more comfortable, so I'm not reaching over. I could just stand right in front of it. My posture can be a little better. Now we're working our way toward the front, following the guide that we have from the other side of the head. Take that last bit and just pull it up and cut it. So now the top is disconnected from both sides, but it's connected in the back. So we need to connect it on the one side right here. We're taking a parting from the recession, not to the back of the head, but to the top of the head, to the apex, and bringing all that hair down to what we did with the block graduation and matching it to that. So now the hair on top will be connected to the hair on the side, but we didn't lose all the length that we just cut right there in the fringe. We want to keep it long in the front right there, so I'm not just going to pull the whole thing over. Now I'm going through, I'm point cutting the top, making sure that the top is square. So when we were first taking those vertical sections, we were working on the shape from the side view. Now we'll be working on the shape from the front view. We wanted it to be a little bit triangular from the side and square from the front. So I'm point cutting and just making sure that everything is square. And because I think I over-directed a little bit too much toward the middle when I was taking those vertical partings, you see there's a lot of length there on the side. So to make it all square and basically match toward the middle, I'm cutting some of that. Yeah, like a lot of that can go. And you know you're good to cut when your fingers are parallel to the ground. If your fingers are square, the cut's gonna be square. See that? And I'm not even just doing blunt lines, that's point cutting. So and we're just working our way to the front of the head. This should be the last section, I believe, right here. Now we're pulling everything over to the side to make sure that that fringe runs, or that perimeter runs into the fringe, and then take off just a little bit at the end right there, so it sits nicer. Now we're gonna blow dry, and you see, because we did that block graduation on that side first where it was disconnected, right? That side is laying so nice right now. It's not spiking up. If I would have just ran the clipper up through it, it would have been spiked up, and you'd have to put a whole bunch of product in there. And he's getting married. Like I want him to be as easy as possible for him. So we're gonna blow dry everything pretty much toward the back and kind of create that flow right there along the ridge. And we're starting at the back and working our way toward the front. You don't want to put dry hair in the front. You dry the hair in the front and then you put it on top of the wet hair that's behind it. You don't want to do that. You want to start drying in the back, so that way when you get to the front, each time you're putting dry hair on top of dry hair and not dry hair on top of wet hair. Right here, I'm just trying to give him some volume. And now, because we did the perimeter on the side, it's gonna be easy from here. We're gonna blast through the bulk with a number 3. Not cutting into the shape that we created, just coming right up to that weight that we left there on the parietal ridge, and I think it's gonna look so nice when we're done. So you see, now we're with that number 3, we're not risking going too high because everything above it is already cut, and it's cut to my finger length, which I know is gonna match up to a number 3. So I can create whatever shape I want on top. I can do whatever hairstyle I want on top, and then do whatever you want on the side as well. So if he wanted a bald fade, I could do a bald fade. If he wanted a number 1 fade, I could do that. Right here, he's getting a 3 on the side with a taper. So, and we're gonna taper the beard as well. So, right here, we're taking down the beard with a number 3, going with the grain, because he wants to leave it dark, but we definitely got to take it down because you can't be the wolf man at your wedding. So, and we're just knocking all of that hair down to a number 3, going with the grain. And since we're doing a number 3 with the grain, when we go to fade that beard out, the highest guard that we'll be using is a number 3 against the grain, or a number 3 open against the grain. So that way it matches up with the 3 with the grain. It's the same color tone. Here's that first guideline for the taper. setting it up so I'll be able to do the beard as well. And I don't know if you saw, but he did have that like kind of cowlick in the back, so I just cut right above that. No need to even sit there and fight with the cowlick all day and switching your clipper a bunch of different directions. Just put the bald line above that so that you'll be able to do a regular taper. And here we're starting with the same steps that we always do with the taper. It's going to be the blade open, and then to blade open to put in the panel, and then work from closed all the way open to blend it out. So we're gonna open it up little by little as we go up the head. There goes the number one panel, and we're gonna close up the number one to blend it out, and then come back with the 16th guard to fade out that last little bit. And if there's still like a faint line after that, you can come back with the blade open, like I did right here. And knock that last bit out. And here goes the number two. I believe it is open because the highest guard that we used on the side is the number three. So we're gonna do a 2 open, 2 closed, and then a 1.5 guard. And just work our way back down. The same steps we use going up are the same steps we use coming down. And by the end of it, our fade should be pretty much there. We'll just have to detail. Make sure you stretch that skin in the back so that way you can get like a good fade, like a good blend on it. And now here we're gonna start with the side taper and doing the exact same steps. Blade open, fade it out. 1 open, fade it out. Number 2 open, fade it out. And by the time that you go back down to you work up the steps and work down the steps, and by the time you do that, your fade should be together. So here's the number 1, and I believe this is the 16th, trying to fade out that last little bit. But you see how easy it is when people come in with long hair and you can set the shape of the top first. It's easy just to blend right into it. All you got to do is just fade up, as opposed to starting with the hair on the side and then they've got long hair on top, and then you got to worry about blending that in, and then maybe thinning shears and all this stuff like that. Yeah, I still come back with the thinning shears later, but I feel like a lot of barbers don't have a system for how they're doing their haircuts. It's a different way every time, but if you consistently cut the same way every time, you can consistently get good at that one thing, and that's how you raise your prices, and that's how you charge more and you gain more clientele, and that's how you grow as a barber, by consistency, setting up systems and being consistent. So right here we're gonna fade in that beard. Now we're moving on to the other side. See if you can follow along. I'm gonna be quiet and see if you can follow along with the steps that I do on the taper. See if you know what I'm gonna do next. Now we on to the lineup. We're gonna get the back of his neck right here, and I feel like this joint is coming out so crispy with the taper in the back and on the side. I'm glad we decided to leave the sides dark like a number 3 because it makes the taper pop a whole lot. So I can't wait to see what his wedding pictures turn out like, man. Congratulations to my guy here and his wife for getting married. We're just working our way around the ear, trying not to cut him. We don't want to have him bleeding on his wedding day. And here we're just working on the C cup, just slowly gonna work that curve around. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to push him crazy on his wedding day. I asked him if he wanted color enhancements. The man said no. I'm sorry. I was going to put it in his beard and have his beard looking sharp, but he said he didn't want it. So we just gave him nice clean natural cut for the wedding. And yeah. But look at that taper, dude. Woo! Just gonna clean up the mustache. And the same thing here on the other side. We're getting that line on the back of the neck. We're just gonna go straight down and then work the curve right around the ear. I like to brush back there pretty frequently. That way I'm not sitting there trying to cut hair that's actually not connected to the head. You know what I mean? And here we're just working on that C cup on the other side. Slowly working our way around the curve. Clean up some of that fuzz on his forehead. I think this haircut's turning out clean, man. Let me know in the comments, you guys. Did I put my man in the game for his wedding? Did I get him EA Sports? Right here, we're just using the Andis foil shaver to kind of get all the rest of that stubble that the trimmer didn't get all over. Wherever it's light, that's what I'm using the shaver on. Wherever the skin is showing. That guy right there with the white shirt was his now brother-in-law. He was next to get a haircut. I cut him after. Had to take care of the groom first. And right here we're just using a little bit of shear over comb just to kind of clean up some of the dark spots and a little bit of bulk that I saw. Same thing on the other side. We just want to clean that up. And in the back here as well, I saw a little bit of weight. You can see it right there. Saw a little bit of weight in the back. See right there? And just trying to do my best to blend that out. I'm gonna take the thinnest shears to it after this and clean it up a little more. But all in all, I think the cut's looking really good. Now we're gonna take our 245 razor and clean my man's face. Get it extra sharp. cool, man. It's crazy because this past weekend I did like maybe 5 wedding cuts. I did 3 for one wedding, another guy for another wedding, and then him and his brother-in-law. So that's 6. But I did a bunch of wedding cuts. I guess because I don't know, COVID's over, so people want to get married now. So congratulations to everybody getting married. Woo-hoo. Just want to make sure that his beard is sharp, even though we're not putting color enhancement on it. It still needs to be sharp. And right here we did his eyebrows also, so I just did my best to clean up the eyebrows with the razor. Here you'll see a little bit better what we did for this one. Yeah, his eyebrows was rough. He needed it. And for up and coming barbers, I suggest that you get good at doing eyebrows, because a lot of people get them and it's an extra $5. Well, I mean, I charge $5, but it's an extra charge added to your service every time. So yeah, somebody comes in and they get a haircut for $30, but every time they come in, they get their eyebrows done too. So now that's $35. And they also get, they want to get their beard done too. So now that's $40. You could up your ticket just by, you know, spending a minute on each eyebrow, you know? So right here, we're gonna put some clay in his hair. He said he wanted something with a pretty strong hold, so the clay that I have has a pretty strong hold. So we're gonna put that in there first, and then I'm gonna come back with a paste, because that's got the shine. It's not as strong of a hold, but it has a little bit of shine, so I wanted to use that as like a topper so that he looks nice for his wedding. And this is just a comb that I have. I just want to style his hair. I love how that comb kind of brings out the texture in his hair, you know, and then you can just kind of run your fingers through it and style it however you want. But yeah, I'm really liking the way that's looking. Yeah, here I go putting the paste in his hair. I don't know if you can see the little extra shine that it added. And we're just gonna style him up, try to give him as much volume in the front as I can. But this is the before, man. My guy was looking rough. Had to get him together for his wedding, man. Congratulations. And here's the after, man. I think that's clean. Let me know what y'all think. Put in the comments. Do you think, did I hook him up, or is he needs to find a new barber? What you think? I think I hooked him up. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with your friends if you find it valuable, if there's some information that you feel like you could use. Yeah, man, appreciate y'all. See y'all next time.